Hello and welcome back to the Mind and Money podcast. I'm Sherry, a financial coach.
And I'm Val, a financial planner. And this topic came up for me, but then I didn't say anything. And it was hot on Sherry's brain. So I'm glad that she did say something. We're kind of revisiting past episodes, but what is this one going to be about, Sherry?
So this is around, again, on the Reddit threads, so much around
the old Reddit,
both with money and exercise, movement, eating in a different way. Like the big thing is, how do you motivate yourself to do the things you don't really want to do, but you know you need to do them and you genuinely want to do them because of how it's going to impact your life? And I think I've responded to like at least half a dozen of them because I'm like, ooh, I can help. Here are the things that have helped me.
I love
both,
that.
The money and the health and fitness side, because basically it's like find ways to make things easy. And it's all about understanding your brain, understanding your motivation, and understanding what the biggest hurdles are that get between you and the change that you want to see. And for brains in general, I believe, but especially so for ADHD brains, the biggest thing is the task initiation. Actually going from want to do this thing to I've started to do this thing. Mm-hmm. And I know, is that something that you feel is a challenge for you, either in your business or your personal life?
I think that shows up in both for sure. It's like having the to-do list or knowing the thing that needs to be done, but then actually doing it. And once you're doing it, 90% of the time, all is well. It's not that we don't know how to do it necessarily. It's just pivoting from it's on the list, I know it's there, to action. So one thing I've used is like yes lists, setting a timer, being like, I'm going to get this done in this time.
Okay, yes list. What, like go back.
Okay, lists. Recently, I was digital, but then I went to paper. So at the beginning of the week, I'll have a list of the things, personal and business, that I need to get done. And through the week, things are coming off and being added. But yesterday with the personal side, I said to myself, just do 5. But then totally got the dopamine of like, I'm going to do more. I'm going to do more. So that is very satisfying to me. And then I'll remake the list and throw out the old one, which is also like a bit of a
during the week
ceremony during the week or weekly. Like, so there's the weekly list, but then there's also the daily list. So there's the big list, but then there's also things like, did I drink my water? Did I take my vitamins?
And is this in a journal? Is this in a sticky note? Is this visual?
So it is visual. There's a book, like a journal that has the big one. The daily is a sticky note. So then I can take it off of the big one and like put a fresh one on. Yeah. So I was like, how do I do this? I need a list and a list. That worked well for me. Everyone's going to be different. Your media might be different. It might be digital. It might be a checklist on your notes. I know that there's different apps that you can use too. Paper is just very satisfying for me.
Well, paper and sticky notes and kind of the daily and the weekly one is always something that I circle back to. And for me, one thing that has been really helpful is understanding that the system that I use to highlight the things that need to be done is not going to be consistent. I love my sticky notes. I love different apps. The one that I'm currently using is called TickTick, not to be confused with TikTok. It's actually TICK twice over. And it's around the Eisenhower method, which I can't remember if we've talked about before, around what's urgent, what's important.
Yes.
It highlights when things are time sensitive and when they're important. And the difference there I really love is like urgent is I need to email this person back about this thing, or I need to go renew my license before it expires. But important is I need to create an email list or have a website to help my business grow in the long term, but there's no imminent negative impact. It's like there is an impact, but it's not felt today or tomorrow or next week or next year. You don't necessarily know exactly what that is to not do the important things because we often get overwhelmed with the urgent things.
That would also take my list to the next level because I am very, very, very good at crossing off the things that belong in the non-urgent, non-time sensitive quadrant.
Really?
I'm very good at procrastinating or like distracting from the things that I'm like, I need to do this. And I'm like, but the dog's nails need to be trimmed. I can hear them clicking.
That's interesting because so the things that are not urgent and not important, when you read anything related to the Eisenhower method, it's like those are the things you should just not do.
Interesting.
So like clipping the dog's nails might not be in there. It's like
maybe
there will be a time when it becomes urgent.
Yeah.
But it's not, so it's
maybe it doesn't perfectly fall in there.
Well, and then there's the urgent and unimportant thing. So again, I want to call clipping the dog's nails unimportant, but those are the things that it suggests that you delegate.
Interesting.
Or like outsource, and finding ways to like focus only on the important things and not spend as much of your time on the unimportant things. And I like that it sends notifications, and it's also got a habit tracker component of it. But I also, so it's kind of like app, spreadsheet, sticky notes, a circle of.
Yes.
But I also think an important piece of this puzzle for folks with ADHD is, yes, finding the task initiation. And I love what you do where it's like, how do I get started? And for me, that often happens a lot of times with running, especially if it's not suitable outside to run.
Yeah.
And it's a treadmill or an indoor track run. It's like, so for an indoor track run, I'm like, I just need to put my shit in the bag and leave the house.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's like, I just need to do X number of minutes, X number of laps. I just need to get started. And most of the time, if it's like, I'm just going to run for 20 minutes.
Yep.
And then I get there and I'm in it. And I'm like, no, the actual plan was to run for an hour. So I'm here now. I might as well just keep going, even though it feels like watching paint dry or run around in circles or on a treadmill. Telling yourself, I'm going to do 10 minutes. I'm going to do 20 minutes.
Yes.
And setting a timer and just doing that first step. So like putting my shoes on if I'm running on the treadmill here. So just do the next step and lower the bar for what you would want to do, like what's ideal.
Yes.
And we often have perfectionist tendencies too. No, my plan says I must run for an hour today, and that I must run for an hour today.
And if I don't feel like doing that, then I'm just not going to do it at all.
Yeah, if I can't get out there and run for an hour, I might as well not even do it. And,
yes, I do.
And giving yourself that permission. You know what? It's 20 minutes. I did this like last week, which I was at the track. I was supposed to run for 45 minutes. I was 20 minutes in. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, but you still celebrate the 20 minutes.
And I got in the car and I came home, and Jason, it was the day Jason was off work. He had some time off over the holidays, and he's clapping for me. And I immediately go to, oh, don't clap because I didn't. He's like, but you still did the thing. I'm like, oh yeah, I still did the thing. So
yes, it's like if you had the goal of like decluttering your home in 2026, start with a closet, start with a drawer, set a timer, like don't overwhelm this, break it down. So yeah, if the goal is doing a workout on YouTube, what are your barriers? Is it like, oh, well, I have to clear the space, or oh, I have to go downstairs, or just go and do it. Set a timer.
When it comes to things like that, though, one of the barriers that I hear come up a lot is spending 20 minutes selecting the workouts to do. This is, circling back to the workout part of it, and what makes things easier for me from the workout perspective is not having to spend a whole lot of time thinking about what I need to do. So between my Peloton app and my Garmin watch, it's like, do this, do 45-minute run at, here's some intervals to do, or it's a steady zone 2 run, or you're doing this weight training workout and you just hit play. And it's that balance on the Peloton app, though. You can say, here's what I want to do. I want to work out. Here's my goals, X number of days a week. Here's the days of the week. And if it's like a full body workout day, and you say you want to be able to work out from half an hour to an hour long, it'll say, here's the top pick. But then you can go into it and say, okay, here's one for 20 minutes, for 30 minutes, for 45 minutes.
Right.
So then it's kind of the perfect blend for ADHD brains. It's like, I'm telling you what to do, but you've still got some decision within that, but it's not 3,000 workouts that fall within these requirements. So you're able to choose, but you're not overwhelmed.
And with
options.
If you don't have that tools, I feel like a way to kind of create that for yourself is looking at it one day a week and planning it. I mean, like, this is the one that I want to do. It's like meal prepping. take the time, make the plan. So then when the time comes, you don't have to make the decision. The decision has been made by you for you.
And a lot of times, do planning that even the day before. So if planning for the week feels like too much, planning the day ahead to be like, it's part of my shutdown at the end of the day. Pick which workouts I'm going to do tomorrow. And maybe that's a self-selecting for yourself. Like, I want to do 45 minutes, but maybe like 30 is going to be the option. I only have a window to do 30. So having that, a few options, but not all of YouTube to do it. And one thing I also realized too, and this was just a last year thing, where our productivity will significantly change from day to day. And there are days when we're like, fucking right, I knocked everything off of my to-do list. I am on fire. And then you're making your to-do list for tomorrow and your brain thinks, on fire today, on fire tomorrow. I'm going to do all of these things. But the thing I noticed is when I have those days where it's like, I knocked off half of my weekly to-do list today. And then the next day, I would set the bar really high. And then every fucking time disappoint myself because I'm like, I wanted to do 7 things and I barely did 1.
Yes. But we are also like, we are cycling human beings and we're not always in harvest mode. But when we have harvest days, we're like, amazing.
Yeah.
And then I have a hard time not feeling like I've failed.
So I really started to adjust the expectation. When I have these really good days, I've started to shift, be like, okay, what are the absolute musts tomorrow? And those are, like, that's my to-do list. And then maybe I add a few things, or like, here's the need to, here's the optional if I choose to, but giving myself permission.
Like good, better, best.
Yeah, exactly. And giving myself permission to be like, no, if you need a day where you're doing your client meetings and maybe that's it, or you're posting something, like one thing, and figuring out what you need to do, and then not beating yourself up for not having another day of like, woohoo. So I think the term that I saw was minimal viable progress. So what do you need to do to continue to maybe not necessarily move things forward, but like, what do you need to do to not drop any balls tomorrow or today? If that's the headspace you're in. And it's okay. It's okay to have those days. And when we don't have those days and we continue to try to push through, the universe often then gives us the sign to be like, oh, you haven't been taking care of yourself.
Yeah, the universe puts you in timeout.
So like, here's an illness where you can't get out of bed for 3 days, or here's a migraine, or here's this, that, or the other thing. And like, one of the big things too is understanding why. So if you want to start working out more, if you want to make changes with your money, understanding why it's important and partnering that with what happens if you don't. Where are you a month from now, 6 months from now, 5 years from now, if you don't find a way to build habits into your life that have you moving your body more, or have you actively managing your money? And often when I start working with somebody new, they're in avoidance mode. They haven't looked at things, or they oscillate between, I don't look at things. I look at things in such detail, it's overwhelming. I don't look at things. I detail every transaction for the last 6 months, and finding somewhere between that. So you've got strategies to manage your money that don't require you to download an Etsy spreadsheet and transfer every transaction from like a CVS file from your bank and your credit card. Like that's not sustainable. And also, like, it's not sustainable to say you're going to work out for 2 hours every day if you haven't worked out for 20 minutes.
No.
Last week. Like, start small, start with baby steps, small steps that help you dip your toe in the water. So if that's working out, maybe it's going for a 10-minute walk every day. If that's your money, maybe that's recording your bank account balance every day, and then starting to record your credit card balance, and then starting to look at your spending. Like, what can you do that's a small step that gets you dipping your toe in the water of what you want to achieve?
I do really like, I feel the why part is like the fuel for our motivation or consistency. So even just revisiting your why, and like do that exercise where you're 6 months down the road, each path, you did it or you didn't do it, 12 months down the road. And just remind yourself of like, why am I doing this? Why do I want to do this? And
on the health and fitness side of it, there's so much out there around, I'm working out for my summer body, for my bikini body, this. It's like, no. I'm working out because I want to be strong, and I want to be able to get myself up off the toilet in decades to come. Like, I'm moving my body to not become immobile, because that's scary shit. And it's not about how my body looks. It's about how my body feels. And it's important that it feels good and continues to feel good because we're not getting any younger.
No, keeping your abilities.
Yeah.
So that's our pieces on motivation, taking initiation, getting it started, breaking it down.
Set the bar low, friends. Set the bar low just to get you entered into that thing that you want to make changes with.
And be your own best friend. Like, cheer yourself on when you do get those things done.
That's a huge thing too. I said that to a girlfriend recently. Would you talk to yourself, or would you talk to somebody that you cared about the way that you were talking to yourself in your head? And we are assholes to ourselves, and maybe make 2026 the year you stop.
I think even just be aware of what's going on in your head. That is like the first step, is catching the things.
Yeah.
And then correcting them, being like, whoa, that's not how we talk to each other.
Because our minds are powerful as fuck. And when we think something and believe something, we create it, and we find ways to
make
create
it true.
That reality we're thinking of. And if you do me a favor, next time you go out, or if you're out driving now or walking, look for yellow cars, because they're in your mind. You're going to see way more yellow cars.
Your reticular activation system.
Damn, those are
RAF. It's essentially the fish net that's in your brain. And if you're fishing for sharks versus minnows, you would have a different size net. So when you're looking for things in life, that is what your net is going to catch. Ooh. So if you're looking for good things, yellow cars, positive things, or if you're like, I suck, this is the worst, that's what your net is going to catch out there and bring to you and be like, here's what you asked for. Here's what I fished for. Reassurance that you sucked.
Yep. Or you've got some big goals for your money or your business this year, and you believe that you're going to be able to hit that new revenue goal, or you believe that you're going to be able to pay down your debt, or then the universe is like, oh. And when the universe sees too that, oh, she's starting to do things to improve her health and fitness, she's starting to do things to improve her finances, and she's looking and believing for these opportunities, let me send her some.
The universe also says, I'm going to throw a couple challenges at you. We'll see if you stay on track.
Yep. Yeah. And knowing that you can do the things and building that belief in yourself, it's like that. I want to find motivation to do the thing. It's like, well, motivation is complete bullshit. For ADHD brains, motivation is extra bullshitty, because the action starts to solidify the belief that we can do things. And then when we start to see the impact of those actions, it's like, then the motivation starts to come. It's like, if you just sit here waiting for motivation to do something,
it's not going to land in your lap.
It's not coming. So believing, taking action, it's all pieces of the puzzle to help you work towards changes in 2026. We hope that we've inspired you to be a little nicer to yourself, set some small steps to help you move towards that thing you want this year. I'd love to hear in the comments what's something you're working towards this year, because that accountability, and I'd love to cheer you on as well, because I love being able to help people believe in themselves, because self-belief is so fucking important.
Oh, so very, very important.
So cheers to smashing those things you want to do and not beating yourself the fuck up all the time. Thanks for being here, and we can't wait to see you next time on the Mind and Money Podcast.